Alright guys, another chutney for you today. This time it's a tomato chutney, all different types in there. Bit different though, it's a roasted tomato chutney to go along with. I've just looked at my playlist. I've already got 5 different types of tomato chutney. There's a traditional green tomato chutney with no apples, a normal red tomato chutney, a smoked red tomato chutney, and a spicy red tomato chutney. So if this one doesn't take your fancy, perhaps one of those will. I'll put them in the description below. Putting a few sultanas in this one. We've got some soft brown sugar, a whole bulb of garlic, Nigella seeds, Garam masala, or you can use mixed spice, coriander seeds. I'm using a bit of ginger puree. You can use fresh ginger and grate it, and our old favourite apple cider vinegar, and some sprigs of rosemary. First thing I do then is get the tomatoes roasting. All we're going to do with the garlic is to cut the top right off. I'll do it. Plonk that in the centre. Tomatoes already been washed. The little ones are going to go in whole. Just make sure the stalks don't go in with them. I may need to use 2 trays. We'll see in a minute. Let's get these in first. Yeah, I might need 2 trays looking at this. Right, do a big one. Yeah, just any bad bits, cut them off, that's all right. There we are. It's about 1 kilogram. It doesn't matter if they overlap or not. So we're going to roast down. When you do cut them, just try and keep them cut side upwards. It's a white lotus, that one. Okay, back in a second. That surprised me, that. Didn't need a second tray. That's just about 1 kilogram in there, so a couple of sprigs of rosemary on top. 2 or 3. Or 4 maybe, yeah. You can scatter a few other herbs on top if you want. Right, in the oven now, 45 minutes-ish until they all start squidging down a little bit. Then it's back to the cooking. Okay then, the tomatoes are just about ready. That's been 40 minutes at 200 Celsius, so not a bad guess. Right, now this is important. We need to weigh your pan for the next bit, because it's a little bit different, this recipe. And because it's a small scales and I can't see, because of the size of the pan, put the funnel on top. Going to put that back in the steriliser in a minute. Right, so I'll tear it up. I'll tear that. Weigh that. If I can balance it. Oh yeah. And that is, I'm going to write it on the side of the board here, 1930 grams. So we need that in a minute. And while we got the scales out, I'll measure out 100 grams of sultanas. You can use chopped dates for this. Might be nicer actually, but it's a bit pointless me buying dates because I wouldn't use the rest of them, you know. Yeah. That's it. Right. Let's go and get the tomatoes. Oh, look at those, eh? All different degrees of burnedness, so that's perfect. So all we're going to do now is just scrape those into the pan. Okay, we're going to lose the sprigs of rosemary. They've done their job. And if I remember, I put 4 in, I think. Yeah. Oh. They can go and rot down the garden. Don't matter if a few little bits stay behind. I'll take the garlic off. We'll do all that in a minute. I don't like these oven mitts. Right. Now, I don't want to get too much of this liquid in really. So I'll do it uphill. There we are. I know what I'm talking about. Oh, these smell lovely. And I've managed to keep most of the juices out as well. Okay then, now in with the sultanas, and we're going to squidge out the insides of all these garlic cloves. Perhaps if I was a bit neater cutting the top off, it'd be easier. Man finds tool. That's better. Okay, then in with a squirt of ginger. That'll do. A teaspoon of coriander seeds. A teaspoon of Nigella seeds. Didn't fail out. 2 half teaspoons of Nigella seeds. And a teaspoon of Garam masala. This is my own one, this. I'll put a link to the recipe for this below as well. It's done me well. Yeah. And it still smells like Garam masala. A little bit smaller. A bit more. And a teaspoon of salt. Now, as usual, pour your salt to one side. I do. Weigh that again. 2630. Oh, 1930. That's easy, isn't it? Right, that's 700. That is perfect. So what we need to know is how much is in there. We've got 700 grams. Let's clear the decks a minute. So what we need is the sugar and vinegar to equal the weight of the mix. And we've got 700 grams, so we need 700 grams of sugar and vinegar. If you want it to be a fairly sweet mix, do 50-50. If you want it to be a little less sweet, use less sugar and more vinegar, but still totaling the weight of the mix. I hope that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do 50-50. So what's it, 350? Well, there we are, that's 330 in that bag. So I'll put 370 ml of vinegar. I've changed my mind on the vinegar, guys. I'm going to use distilled malt vinegar for this, because I don't want to cloud the flavour of the tomatoes. You know what I mean? This is a bit more pure, I suppose. So 370. There we go. And that's it now, so start cooking. Let's get the heat on. Get the vinegar in. And get the sugar in. Give it a mix up. Oh, it smells lovely already. Okay, I want to get to a rolling boil as quick as we can. As quick as we can, just save time, that's all. This doesn't look like it's going to make a lot. I'm thinking 2 380ml jars. That's going to boil off quite a bit in a minute. And as I've said before, a rolling boil is where it's boiling, but when you stir it, it carries on boiling. So that's not really a rolling boil just yet. Another minute. That's pretty close. Yeah, that'll do. So now, turn the heat down a bit, and we're going to simmer that until we get a nice thick gooey mix with a bit of liquid in it. So when you drag your spoon across the bottom, it leaves a trench behind, but some liquid goes into the trench. And you'll see that in maybe half an hour. Well, I tell you what, guys, that's been just over half an hour now on a simmer, and that has reduced so much. And you see what I mean? There's a trench there, a little bit of liquid's coming back in, so that'll do. Off with the heat. In with the jars. Now, I say jars, a bit ambitious I reckon, because I'm thinking there's only just one jar in there. Let's have a look. Oh no, maybe a bit more. Oh, I don't know. There we go. God, it's thick, isn't it? Trying to break the tomatoes. Yeah, tell you what. Oh, I get a bit more in there. A bit more. Let's get a lid on that one first. We got enough for another one? Might as well give it a go, haven't we? Well, there ain't no more in there. Note to self, buy some more small jars, Steve. Tell you what I'm going to do with this one before I put it away. Have a taste. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the Garam masala. Yeah. That is going to be nice in a few weeks. Right. Let's put that one back in the cupboard. Clean down the photograph. Here we are then, guys. 1 kilogram of tomatoes and all that vinegar and sugar into those 2 little jars. Well, 1 2/3 jars. Tastes nice now. It's going to taste even nicer in 6 weeks or so. Hope you like this one, guys. Like I said, I got 5 other tomato chutney recipes on the YouTube channel. Check them out. You never know. It might be one you like. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next recipe.